Recording now. Welcome to the South Jersey Soccer Cast, where we discuss the Union, MLS, the U.S. national teams, and more.
I am Matt.
And I'm his father, Jim. Welcome to our first show of the 2023 season. Much has happened so far this off-season, at home and abroad. Today we look at the Union's off-season, how it's been going so far. But first we have a little bit of news.
Yes. So we have a update on the Juventus situation and a very similar uh, type of financial issues,
Yes.
financial fair play issues, I guess.
So, for our listeners that remember, Juventus was kind of in trouble just a little bit for securities fraud because they basically were lying about what was going on inside the club, and they are a publicly traded company, and so they are in trouble with the not just the league, but the financial regulators as well. However, the league has come up with some punishments for them, and they're going to they're going to lose 15 points for the season. It's a mess, right? They're being hit pretty hard. Players are going to be potentially suspended. Weston McKennie has been caught up in all this mess, but the criminal stuff has not yet hit the courts, so that could be a real mess. Yeah, it's probably pretty ugly over there if you were a Juventus fan. Probably worse if you're an Juventus employee.
I couldn't imagine things are all that good over there in
Yeah,
Turin.
no, it's a mess. But closer to home, City Football Group, the parent of NYCFC and Manchester City and several other clubs around the world, is in deep trouble with the Premier League for their financial dealings. Basically, the ownership group, the the UAE, were funneling money, pretending it was coming from sponsors, into the club. I saw some stuff. It looked like they were leaked emails. I didn't authenticate them, but if they are authentic, it's a real mess. There's a lot going on. They basically knew that things were bad and that they were doing bad things, and they kept doing it. And they were talking about how to cover it up and how to hide it from auditors and all sorts of other stuff. So if you remember, they got in trouble with UEFA for this sort of thing. They ended up getting punished, and then they appealed to the Court of Arbitration for Sport and won their appeal. The Premier League's punishment is not subject to review by the Court of Arbitration for Sport, so it's pretty ugly.
No.
And there are mentions of NYCFC and the U.S. Branch and some other stuff in these emails. I don't know what kind of stuff is going to shake out for
Nor do
them.
Important to mention that the UEFA case that was appealed and then dropped, basically that reasoning was the situation was too long ago to prosecute. The Premier League's case is not liable to that. It doesn't matter how far in the past it was. If they
Yes.
broke financial fair play, they broke financial fair play and are subject to punishment.
And they're being invested. There was like a 4-year investigation going into this.
Yeah.
There's over 100 charges that they're filing against the club. Yeah, it's pretty bad. The other teams in the Premier League are very upset. I think you mentioned that some of them are looking to get the team kicked out of the Premier League.
Yeah, basically the Premier League clubs have kind of said that if they're found guilty, they want Man City kicked out the league.
Right. And this has been going on from the stuff I've seen back to the 2009, 2010 season, all the way up through, I think, 2020, 2021,
Yeah.
probably up through the present day. I mean, it's a mess. And like I said, if those emails are authentic, they knew they were doing the wrong stuff. They knew they were breaking the rules. They were trying to cover it up. It's bad. It's going to be
Yeah.
ugly when
Yeah.
the hammer comes down if they are guilty. So that could have impact because if some of this fallout affects NYCFC, what are we going to do? What's going
I
to
don't,
happen? What's
I'll,
MLS going to do?
yeah,
We
I
don't
have
know
no
any of
idea.
this stuff.
We don't even know if they're guilty.
Right.
We're not the court. We can't say.
Right. And the stuff I've seen in the leaked email stuff, um, only kind of mentions New York
Yeah,
and the US, and the MLS's rules might permit what they were doing
maybe. It might
because
not even matter to the league that's salary capped.
right, like it's the salary cap. It is what it is. And as long as you
Yeah.
don't violate that, they might not care where the money comes from. You could be right. So if that's the case, then nothing might happen. But if the larger organization gets hammered really hard, who knows what's going to happen? So it's going to be pretty ugly. I mean, that's pretty much the big news. We'll have a little bit more on the Apple TV Plus MLS season pass stuff when we get a chance to look at it. It is
Yeah.
live now,
Yes.
but I've not dug into the details about it, what it takes to sign up and all that stuff.
No, and there's already a bunch of stuff there with player profiles and team profiles, and all sorts of stuff like that, but we'll cover that later.
Yeah, probably next week if we get,
Yeah.
unless lots of other stuff happens, because who knows?
Yes. Yeah.
Right now, the preseason matches are hard to catch. I don't think they're streamed anywhere at the moment.
I don't believe so.
Not that I've seen, and they haven't been televised either.
But I do know that the Union are currently undefeated in preseason.
Yes. Well, I'm more interested in seeing how they're playing than the final scores.
I mean, a win's a win's a win, right? But I guess
Yeah,
it's
but
only
some
just
wins are more
preseason.
important than others.
Yeah.
um, yes, but these are non-competitive games.
Yeah.
Or I guess these are professional athletes. Every game is competitive.
I mean, sure, but also not. Sometimes
Yeah.
these games are just trying to build match sharpness or test out new tactics. Like the
Yes.
Union played with five at the back for one of the games. They hardly used that last season, if at all.
Right. Yeah,
So
it's true. Yeah, and like without being able to see the games, I don't know how to react to this. Like I haven't even seen highlights. Well, I
yeah,
saw one highlight. It was the first goal of the preseason. So that was it. I really honestly haven't been digging for the preseason highlights
no,
because
I haven't seen them many anyway.
yeah, they haven't come through my feed pretty much. All right. So this off season, lots of teams across the league have changed what they're going to look like with their starting 11.
Yes. The Union have not, which is really scary, I think.
Yes.
I mean, the most prolific offense combined with the stingiest defense, and now you have everyone coming back in the starting 11. It's pretty good.
That is very good.
It's very
I
good.
think that bodes well. Um, and the one concern I had at the end of last year was depth.
Yes.
And I believe they
And
have added some depth.
they lost some
They
depth. They
lost some
added
depth.
some depth.
All right. Why don't we cover who they've lost
Okay.
this off season?
So to start off, they sold Paxton Aronson for about $4 million. There's some add-ons and a large sell-on percentage, but those exact numbers are iffy. So 4 million plus, and sold him to Eintracht Frankfurt, who's a very good Bundesliga team. They
Yeah.
just won the Europa League, I believe, last season. So they're a good team in Europe, and they
Yeah.
bought Paxton.
So good for him.
So yeah, good for him. He
Big payday, I hope.
yeah wasn't going to get really any minutes this season. Didn't
Yeah.
last season, so made sense to
Yeah.
sell him.
Give him a good place to develop. Make him a
Mhm.
better player. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
Uh, Key depth piece in Corey Burke. They lost to free agency. Signed with the Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but they they just didn't agree to terms for a new deal, and
Yeah, it's a shame.
that happens sometimes.
Yeah. Would have been nice if they could have agreed to terms, even if he was going to end up at the Red Bulls.
Yes.
Yeah, it would have been nice to get something for him other than let him go in free agency. But
Yeah. Get something as opposed to the nothing they got.
yeah. So
Uh,
that'll be I liked him as a player. I thought
yeah.
he fit really well in his
Yeah.
role last year.
Yeah.
Gonna be
Worked
missed.
hard, was really good at what he did. I mean, what else would you want from a rotation piece?
Right. And he was very good at it.
Yeah, he was.
Changed up the play, swapped the tempo of the game. Um that tempo switch was a good chunk of the wins.
Yeah.
When they needed those late goals, that tempo switch really helped, I thought.
And when he needed to start, he didn't complain, had no issues when he was benched.
Right.
He's very, very good player to have.
And maybe he just wasn't maybe he was just trying to find a place where he would start
Yeah, maybe.
again.
Maybe it's the Red Bulls.
Maybe. We'll see. Again, it's hard to get details out of any of the MLS teams
Yeah.
except for signings at this point.
Last major loss of the offseason for the Union so far is in Matt Freese, back up to Andre Blake. Traded him to New York City, 750,000 in general allocation money for this season, which is actually really good.
That's
For
a big chunk of change.
yeah, for the very few games Matt Freese has played. It's
Yeah.
really good.
So what happened to NYCFC? Why do they all of a sudden need a goalkeeper?
Okay. So Sean Johnson.
John Johnson, who was one of the best in the league.
Won NYCFC their cup on penalties.
Yeah.
He became a free agent, signed with Toronto. Now New York City needs a keeper.
They called Philly.
Yeah.
They called
The
Ernst Tanner.
backup to the best keeper in the world, or in the league anyway.
Yeah, so hopefully Matt will get some playing time.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Hopefully.
He's going to at least compete for that starting position.
Yeah. And it's probably the right career move for him.
Because he really wasn't going to bench Blake anytime soon.
No.
It's really hard to do that with the reigning goalkeeper of the year.
Barring an injury to Blake, yeah.
Yeah.
Andre. Would have been really hard.
Yeah.
And then one more, what was it?
Yes.
Yesterday? Today?
Yes, I believe.
It was this
Yesterday, day before, earlier this week.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Union and Abasa Aramea recently decided to mutually agree to termination of his contract. So he never really played. He was more of a U2 kind of guy. Like fifth choice center back, really low on the depth chart. Wasn't going to get any playing time anytime soon.
Right.
So they just decided to part ways. Unfortunate. Would have liked to see him play, see what he offered, but I can understand it.
Yeah, me too. And it's one of those things. Sometimes, you don't have roster room. You want to let the player go. Hopefully it's mutual. I mean, hopefully it really is mutual instead of that's what they're just saying.
Yeah.
That happens once in a while. Especially like if you're a NFL head coach Resign or be fired. Oh, all right, I'll resign. Hopefully, it really was mutual.
Hopefully. I mean, again, he really wasn't going to get any playing time because Jim Curtin really never switched up the center backs,
Right.
and he was fifth.
Yeah, it's pretty far behind. The and really like you know, Glesnes and Elliott that really pretty much didn't miss any playing time.
No, I mean they never get injured, never pick up too many yellow cards, never seem tired.
Right.
It's hard to switch them out.
I think the only time didn't Elliott miss some got subbed out of one of the
Yes.
games because he was playing midfield.
I believe that was 2 seasons
What
ago.
2 seasons? Was it two
I
seasons
believe
ago?
I believe so.
I thought it was one game last season.
It might have been. But I know that Elliott missed some time earlier in the season through injury,
I
but
mean
it
that
was only
happens.
like a week or two.
That happens, but if there's still two more people between you and the field,
Oh,
yeah, I can understand it.
me too.
Um, a lot of contracts have come through. Most importantly, Daniel Gazdag re-upped his contract, got a bigger payday, so he's now taking up one of the designated player slots.
The third.
The- Well, yeah, there's three of them. He gets one of them,
Yeah. Well, now the Union have three.
and they're all forwards.
Yes.
Well, I guess
Good.
Gazdag's technically a midfield.
I guess. But it is
Their
the front
starting
three.
attack.
Yes, it is
There's
the front three.
yeah. Uh, let's see who else. Jack McGlynn was recent,
Mhm.
so that
Got a
that's
few
that.
years and some team options, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it was. These
Yeah.
are all. I think Bedoya, he signed a 1 year deal. I think the rest of them
Yes.
are multiple year
Bendick also
deals.
signed a 1 year deal.
Okay, I didn't notice that. Matt Real, Jack Elliott, who we mentioned already.
Mhm.
So they have shored up the starting rotation again.
Yes. Yes.
Bedoya, 1 year deal. I could see that because he's probably at the point in his career where he's going to sign a 1 year deal or he's going to retire. I don't think he's going to want to sign a multiple year deal where he's got to play.
Probably not. I think he signed a 1 year deal for last season, and now he's done it for this season.
Yeah.
So I think whenever he feels the time is right, he'll just not sign that 1 year deal again.
Yeah. That's about what I was thinking.
Yeah.
We'll stick with the 1 year deals. He probably won't go anything long term.
Yeah.
Bendick is okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. Matt Real is interesting. He's young still.
Yeah. Young
Yeah.
enough anyway.
And he was getting some first team play time
Yes.
over the course of the season. So I'm kind of happy about this so far.
Me too. I think they have a good off season, especially with their new acquisitions that we'll talk about recently or
Yeah.
soon anyway.
Yeah.
But they signed their starting 11 to longer deals, which is important, kept them around, lost some depth, added quite a bit of depth. I think it's a good off season so far.
Yeah. All right. So since you mentioned adding depth,
Yes.
who have they got? Who are some of the key players so far?
Okay. So
Well, at least the ones that made the news feed.
for the first team.
Yeah,
So
for the first team.
they're all trades, all from Eastern Conference teams. They traded for Joaquin Torres from Montreal.
Yes.
He's going to be Gazdag's backup. He's also could be a second forward, much like Carranza or Ua, just a supporting role. He's really that rotation option between the front three.
Yeah. Okay.
One of them gets tired, he can slot right in.
Yeah. Would he bring some kind of a little bit of change up to the play like Burke did, or is he more kind of the same?
He's different from Burke and different from how all three play.
Yeah. So like like
Yeah.
Burke did. He was different than,
Yes.
so he
Yeah,
brings some
Burke was
change.
this target man, big guy, hold up the ball, but also just run down people. He's bigger, he's faster, he's stronger than the defense's tired legs.
Yeah.
Joaquin Torres, he's more of a facilitator. He will just create opportunities for the other two to do something with.
No, that sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
like something they would need, especially if they're going to look to rotate Gazdag with the extra games they're going to be playing this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So traded him. He's only 26. He's not
So
old.
no, not
He's
old.
a very good rotation piece. If
Yeah.
not, he should be starting on most teams.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem if you come to a team where, yeah, you're second or third, out of maybe three. Like you have center backs, right? So
Yes.
you're the third center back. You're the first guy on the bench, behind people that are just one of the best in the league,
If
you
not the
know,
best.
if
Right?
not the best, right?
Yeah.
Like not, only one person gets to be the best, but someone that would start for most other teams having to be on the bench. I guess that's kind of a good thing.
I guess. You don't get
Because
hurt.
you don't get hurt.
Still
Maybe
collect
you win
money.
stuff.
Yeah. Name still on the trophy.
Your name's still on the trophy. You probably still play,
Yeah.
just not all the time. All
So
right.
anyway,
So
moving on. They have Andres Perea
okay.
from Orlando. He's 22. He's real young. Traded him, got him. Uh he's really a Bedoya replacement. He's an engine in midfield. He'll just never stop running, much like Flock. He's more offensively minded than Flock, less defensively. So
Okay.
he'll be involved in the attack a lot more. Not as much defensively, but he will still defend with his heart, right? He's
And
also really good at it. He's just not on Flock's level.
yeah, we
But
talked about Flock and how just like he doesn't make the highlight reel because nothing happens.
because
It
he
just,
stops the highlight from happening,
yeah,
which is what he's really good at. But
it's what he gets paid for.
yes. And
So
Perea is just a he's a midfield sub. He'll play either 8 positions or the 6 where Martinez is. He'll just rotate. If Flock gets tired, he'll come in. Bedoya gets tired, he'll come in. McGlynn gets tired, he'll come in. Martinez gets tired, he'll come in. And he'll even start games, which he should, because he's good. He's
yeah, it sounds
young.
like
He will
need
develop.
needed depth in the midfield
Yes.
because that
Especially with
was
how much they run and how many games they're going to play.
because last year the only depth in the midfield they had was McGlynn.
Yeah.
After the starters, it was McGlynn. And if it was Martinez, it was Jack Elliott.
Yeah.
Who then left a
Really.
hole in the back.
Yeah. But
So
at the end of the year, there was Odada as well. So,
yeah, that's true.
but not much rotation there. But with all the extra games, the Leagues Cup, Champions League, Open Cup, the league, they're going to need rotation,
Yes.
which is what Perea brings.
And if it keeps them healthier and fresher, even, outside of having extra games, yes, extra games, you're going to need it. But, wouldn't have taken a whole lot more to win either the Supporter Shield or the MLS Cup last year.
Nope.
They basically tied for both.
Basically.
Lost tiebreaker and lost in penalty kicks. So,
which is a tiebreaker.
which is a tiebreaker. So that's frustrating.
Yeah.
way to end the season,
Frustrating.
but also very good.
Yes. And points to expectations are sky high.
Yes, especially with everybody that they brought back. They did trade away a center back last year. In the
Yes.
end,
Well, sold, not really
Sold.
trade. Same function, but yeah. And brought one in the offseason, Damian Lowe from Inter Miami. He's going to
Yeah,
be that third choice, that first center back off the bench. One of
yeah,
them's tired, put him in.
he's a bit older though, isn't he? He's
I mean,
29.
he's like 29. He's in his prime. He's not old.
Yes, but he's not a young player. That's
No,
what I was trying to
not
get
like
at.
Correa.
I wasn't trying to say he was old. I was
No,
saying he's
yeah,
not young.
I understand. I understand. Yeah, Perea is that young guy who can and will develop a little bit. He's 22, same age
Yeah,
as Carranza. They're not finished products yet. Whereas Joaquin Torres and Damian Lowe, mostly finished. There's still a little bit of development. There's always going to be development, and Bedoya is still developing.
yeah,
But you know,
yeah. No, I'm excited for this year.
me too. I
I'm
think
looking
it'll be
forward
a
to it.
lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm kind of worried. I'm kind of expecting too much.
I think you kind of have to expect a lot.
Yeah, but it's Philly. Philly
Yes,
lives on being the underdog.
but is that really true anymore?
I don't think so.
I mean, three different teams in their championship games.
Yes, it's true.
I mean,
No,
how
well,
much more of an underdog can you really be? I
okay,
understand you're not LA. I understand you're not New York City.
I know,
But man,
but it's an attitude.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I mean,
the,
the whole dog mask in 2017 was that attitude.
yeah,
I understand that.
yeah. And if you look at the Super Bowl coverage, so everybody that's picking Kansas City to win is basically saying, "But it's Mahomes. He will win.
Well,
He will get the Patrick Price and win
it
the game."
is Mahomes. I think you have to respect him.
Yes, but the people that are picking him are like, "He will win the game," and then the people that are picking the Eagles, it's funny. It's like, uh, defensive line gonna win.
Yeah.
It won't be pretty, but they're gonna win.
No, I mean, I
So,
think the overall team of the Eagles is just better, but betting against Mahomes, Big Red, and Travis Kelsey is really not a good
oh,
recipe.
I know. That's why basically it's a pick 'em game if you look at the betting.
Yeah.
But anyway, but like if you saw the thing, Andre Blake had an interview
Mhm.
out at Media Day, and he talked about how basically the Union is seen as this little team with no big name players.
Yeah. I mean, that's how the media treats them.
Yes,
And they
and
consistently contend.
yes, and that feeds into the underdog mindset.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like you have Michael Jackson feeling like he's been slighted for the littlest of things. I think that's just how pro athletes work, right?
yeah, that's true.
Or Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
That's who it is, not Michael Jackson. Different guy, different MJ.
Yeah, different set of shoes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Did you ever see the anti gravity shoes
No. Wait. Was that where like
where
it
they
like
did the
slid
lean?
onto a nail?
Yeah, and they did the
Yeah.
really crazy lean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Whereas
I have seen that actually.
yeah, whereas Michael Jordan still selling sneakers, man,
There's-
and they're expensive. It's not
Yeah.
like they're like these are $30 sneakers. Everybody can afford them. No, they're expensive and they're collectible. Still,
I remember one athlete, I forgot who it was, like completely fabricated a story about like someone not shaking his hand after the game, and he was motivated by that complete fabrication of the story. So, is it true that the Union have no big name players? Yes.
no, they do have big name players.
They don't. Not according to MLS.
Oh, they only gave Blake goalkeeper of the year 3 times.
Yes. Blake,
Only three.
goalkeeper, big name.
That's true.
Didn't you give Gazdag the respect he deserved in the MVP conversation?
That's true. He should have been in the conversation.
He
I
should have,
agree.
and he wasn't. He was
Probably
in
should
the
have.
Golden Boot conversation, but MLS didn't mention that.
That's true. Didn't he finish second?
I think so.
Like he,
Second or third.
I thought he snuck by on assists in the
He
second.
might have. He might have.
Yeah, like they didn't mention him all year.
No, Philly's been a consistent contender for silverware for years. And
Yeah.
the media just don't respect him. So I understand where Blake's coming from.
Yeah.
Because Ua and Carranza are not big name guys. They're not Joseph Martinez from formerly Atlanta. I forget where he's at now.
Didn't he go to one of the Florida teams?
Uh yes, Miami,
Okay.
I believe.
I think it was one of the Florida teams. I'm not sure which
It
one.
was. I believe it was Miami.
Okay. And he was the face of that franchise.
Yes. And the media still talks about him. Like
Yeah.
he was this fantastic goal scorer, which he was before he tore his ACL. Hasn't shown that since. And the media talk more about him than Gazdag, than Carranza, than Ua. I understand he sells a
Carranza was a
lot.
steal.
He was. Probably the best forward coming from Miami. No longer playing there, but
There. That's what we need. We need jerseys instead of Carranza jerseys, but instead of putting Carranza across the back, put the steal.
yeah. Yeah.
Stolen. And people who know will get it.
Yes.
Who's this stolen player?
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. We should do that.
But anyway, expectations for this season. Honestly, they have to compete for hardware. If not, they have to win.
Yes,
Something.
I'm expecting them to win some silverware this year,
They should.
and that's what's got me worried.
Yeah.
Because that's really hard.
It is. It's really hard.
You know,
They've proven
Supporter
that
Shield is
they-
hard. MLS Cup is hard. Any of the other tournaments they're going to be in, they're hard.
Yes, of course. They've consistently competed for them and
Yes.
contended. They should win something.
I expect them to win something. I don't know
Yeah.
what that something is.
No. And
I would like
think
it to be the MLS Cup and have a parade, but
I would like for them to win it all and have every parade ever. But
Yes.
I know that's not going to happen.
Yeah. That would be way too much.
Oh, it'd be insane.
Yeah. That would be a lot. I mean, is it possible? Yeah. They haven't played the games yet. So
Yes.
it's possible.
They're currently undefeated.
Yes. It's also possible for me to win like the Powerball, but first I have to go buy a ticket. I haven't done that yet.
I think they have a better chance to win everything than you.
Well, if I have no intention of buying a ticket, I will not win.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it's not possible.
Well, true.
Because I could go buy a ticket right now. I don't know. It's for whatever the next drawing is by the time I
Yeah.
get to the store.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Possible.
Anyway, we digressed. We went off on a weird tangent there.
But no, I do think that the Union should expect to win.
Yeah.
It should be seen as a failure if they don't.
I agree. If they don't win, at least something.
Yeah.
What are they in 4 major competitions if you count the Supporter Shield and the MLS Cup as
So,
separate?
Shield Cup, Open Cup, Leagues Cup, Champions League. 5.
5. They should win something.
We should win something.
I'm expecting them to win something.
Yes.
It would be nice to pull off the Supporter Shield MLS Cup double,
Yes. It'd
which
be nice to pull off everything,
the everything,
but yeah, the
Oh,
quintuple.
the one of everything. Yeah, that would be amazing. But
Yes.
again, that's probably unrealistic.
Probably,
I
but
I would like
they-
the team to really, if they're going to really push for one, to push for the Supporter Shield and the MLS Cup,
Yes. I mean-
because winning the Supporter Shield gets, is while it's its own trophy, it's that stepping stone. It's getting the home games. It's having the best playoff schedule, you know.
Yeah. All at home.
Yeah, you get them all at home. Yeah, you just get the best playoff schedule
Mhm.
if
I
you win
mean,
the cup, the
going
shield.
from 2020 winning the Shield, 2021 conference final, 2022 cup final. I mean, they've competed heavily. They need to win something again.
Mhm. I agree. They need to win. They need to bring something home.
You know, and they have the depth now to do it.
Yes. Yeah, but there is the elephant in the room.
Yeah. Okay. So here's why they won't win. Uh, so with the U.S., they got rid of their sporting director, and Berhalter's out of contract, and another important person's out of contract or was fired or something. But the U.S. is waiting to appoint a head coach for the sporting director.
Right.
Well, they're waiting to get a sporting director to appoint a
Before,
head coach.
yes, before hiring a head coach
Yes.
who will need a staff.
Yes. So the U.S. soccer is looking at appointing the sporting director sometime in the summer at some point, who's then going to appoint their coaching staff to lead the U.S. for 2026.
Yes.
The rumor is it's going to be Jesse Marsh as head coach because he recently got fired from Leeds. Wasn't doing too well, probably deserved it, yeah. And his assistant coach is Jim Curtin, or will be Jim Curtin.
Yeah, that's
Could be
the
Jim
rumor
Curtin.
and the speculation.
Yeah.
And Jim Curtin has said if the US national team comes calling, he will go.
Especially, well, maybe not especially, but he did specifically say for an assistant coach, he will
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Yes, he did not qualify that to be, but only if I'm head coach.
Yes. He was asked if he would still go if he was an assistant. He said absolutely.
Yes, and I
Says
think
it's his right to serve the US. He
yeah.
gets called, he'll do it.
Yeah, I think he feels it's kind of an obligation and a point of pride to be able to do that for the US.
And I agree. I appreciate everything he's done. And if he goes mid-season, well,
That might be bad.
uh,
Yeah, I don't know. We'll
yeah.
see. We'll see what kind of Ernst Tanner magic can
Yeah.
happen if that happens.
Yeah, or see if his assistant can step in for the rest of the season and finish.
That's true. Depending on when it is.
Mhm.
And when the games are,
Yeah.
when the international windows and the friendlies start. Because I don't think they're going to be playing competitive games. The US men will not be playing competitive games for a while.
No, but they'll still have camps
They'll
and
have camps
friendlies
and
that they have to
friendlies and
play.
stuff. Yeah.
And you want to implement your tactics as soon as possible and evaluate your choices because people are gaining citizenship all the time. Julian Gressel just became an American citizen, now plays for Vancouver. Funny, I guess. But no, he became a US citizen, got called up in January, and from all reports, he was pretty good.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's one of those things like if you're an assistant, it would probably be even worse if like Jim Curtin was trying to still be part-time head coach and part-time assistant coach for the two teams. It would probably make things worse.
Probably. He probably wouldn't commit enough time
To
that he would
either,
want to either.
right? Yeah. But I could see if the process drags on a bit
Yeah.
and it's late in the MLS season, Jim Curtin says, yes, but not until
Yes.
I have this to finish first.
Yeah.
But I think once they get a sporting director, they'll be trying to fast track the coaching staff.
Because again, you want that culture, you want those tactics in immediately. You want Jesse Marsh, if it's going to be him or Jim Curtin or anyone else, to start evaluating players.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we don't have to qualify. We still need to figure out our best team.
And get them playing well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And playing together.
Yeah. So that is the big question hanging over this team.
Yeah.
Will Jim Curtin be around?
And it is a big question.
And if he gets the call, nobody should try to fault him for it.
No.
They should be happy.
I would. Yeah.
They should be happy for him.
Be an honor.
Yeah. Yes. It'll hurt to see him go.
Yeah.
But like everything else.
I mean, after everything he's done for the team, he deserves it.
Right. Yeah.
Deserves to advance his career in the best way he sees.
Yeah. And then, we'll be rooting for him if he goes to the national team.
Of course. Of course.
Right. And
I'll root for whoever NYCFC or the Red Bulls head coach if they became US coach. I'll root for them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
That's true. Well, it's good that he's in that conversation.
Yes.
It shows that people are noticing.
Yes. And they are pretty high on his coaching ability.
Yeah.
Saying
because
he
little
should
team
be
with no
number
players.
2. Yeah. Yes.
I in some ways that reputation or that perception helps.
Yes. Because let's
annoying.
face it, the US isn't the biggest name in soccer.
No.
It's not top 10, top 15, maybe not even top 20. Maybe not.
Maybe.
I don't know.
In a good year, I think they are.
Sure.
In a bad year, they're not. They're not top 20 for sure.
Yeah. Well, in a bad year, they're probably not even top 50. I mean, if you can't even qualify for the World Cup.
Yes. So it'll be interesting to see this season. I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll be good.
It's fun, but there's a lot of expectations on the group.
Yes. And hopefully they can deal with the pressure. But sometimes you put that pressure on yourself and you don't do well.
Yeah.
It's too much. You start thinking about it too much. It gets in your head.
But I think that they showed last season, because they had expectations last season, because they made the Eastern Conference final and won the Shield the 2 years prior.
Yes.
They had expectations last season and they almost met them.
Yeah. They almost exceeded them.
Maybe not exceeded.
I don't know. They get the extra point. They win the Supporters Shield and play that final game at home and win it. I think that would have been exceeded.
Yes. Getting both.
And they really were really close.
Yes, they were.
1 point.
Again, if they won both the cup and the Shield, yes, exceeding. They win one, probably not.
That's meeting. Yeah.
Yeah. They have similar expectations this year. Meet them.
Yes. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, because you really missed last season. Unfortunate as it is to say.
They did miss.
You did miss.
And we can
good.
Yeah, and the COVID messed up game, for the Eastern Conference final. Okay. We'll live with it. I don't
fault them for that. You made the conference final, which is fantastic.
Yes.
The year prior, you won the Shield. You won the Shield. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wonderful. No one expected them to.
Right.
Now people have expectations.
Yes. They've been too good for long enough. There's expectations now.
Yeah.
And basically being the class of the Eastern Conference again. which is what they were last year.
I mean, I think they are the best of the East.
Yeah.
They've weakened their opponents. They have. Took from Montreal, Orlando, Miami. Didn't give them anything. They only gave Burke to the Red Bulls, but it's not like the Union had a say in that. You just
Yeah.
kind of went.
Yeah. And then, maybe that allowed them to bring in the players they did.
Maybe.
I
Maybe
mean,
selling Freeze did.
maybe. Yeah. And again, starting 11's coming back.
Yeah. And there
That's
was a stat I think I saw, or I did see, that basically said for the past 3 years in a row, the Union have had the most percent of minutes played returning.
yeah, I think I saw something to that. I don't remember the numbers.
Yeah, so like 2020 to 2021, most minutes returning. 2021 to 2022, most minutes returning. This season, most minutes returning.
That's why they've been able to stay good.
Yeah, because they've been consistently returning with their guys.
Yeah. And it's not like they're mediocre. These are guys that really should be in the conversations for the best 11 of the league, uh you know winning the individual trophies,
Which they did.
which they do, um winning the team awards, set records, rewrite parts of the record book every year. I mean, that's good.
They did.
So again, last year was very frustrating because they were so close.
Yes. And they don't really need to integrate new players into the system.
No.
It's
Well,
really only depth pieces
the
right now.
depth pieces.
Yeah. But they're depth pieces. They have time.
Yes.
It's not like you have an entire new starting 11 that needs to gel. The Union
Right.
will, if they're playing a team like that, the Union will just exploit that because they don't have chemistry. The Union do.
Right. Yeah, I wonder how St. Louis City's doing.
I have no idea.
It'll be interesting to see how they play, how they come out of the gate.
In Charlotte,
Yeah.
got past the expansion year. Now what?
Yes. What's new for them?
Yeah. Or you got to build on it.
Right.
And you were close to playoffs. Make them.
Yeah. What step is Cincinnati going to make?
What's Miami doing?
What's Miami doing? Selling players, apparently.
Well, apparently. And having retirements.
And having retirements. Yes. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
I am excited. First match is February 25th.
Okay,
I think that is the first match of the season for the league.
Yes.
Let me check. Let me check the MLS schedule. See matches. February 25th, Nashville and New York City, Philadelphia, Columbus, Cincinnati, Houston, Atlanta, San Jose. Yeah, that's the first day.
Okay. And
I thought they were going to open with an El Trafico or something.
Yes, in the Rose Bowl.
In the Rose Bowl. Oh, that one's at 9:30. Whereas the regular where Nashville, New York City is starting at 4:30. Philadelphia's playing at 7:30.
Okay.
So that is first. I thought that the El Trafico at the Rose Bowl was going to be like the only match that day because it was going to be the big deal.
But it is a big deal.
It is a big deal. The Rose Bowl is
not the only.
The Rose Bowl is a very historic place.
It's also a very big place.
Very big place. Lots of history has happened there.
No idea what the Galaxy are doing.
I don't think the Galaxy knows what the Galaxy's doing, apparently, from some articles I've read. One of them was from what is it? what's the organization that does the brotherly game?
SB Nation.
SB Nation. Yes, it was the Galaxy's SB Nation site. Said, what a mess.
Yeah.
This is awful.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Does anybody in the office know what's happening?
how do you retain your GM, president, whatever Chris Klein is pretending to be? How do you retain him after he's been suspended for breaking league spending rules? Like, he violated the salary cap, and you're like,
He knows where the bodies are buried.
I guess. But your team's already been punished.
Maybe not for everything.
Maybe not, but man.
No, I don't. I have no idea what he knows or what he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And maybe he took the fall for the organization.
And the organization's just extending him the courtesy of staying.
Yeah, well, you take the fall for us and we'll keep paying you.
Yeah.
Instead of we throw you under the bus and you tell everyone what really is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's just like the Miami fiasco where they had a mediocre team. They weren't even good.
Yes.
Like, if you're breaking the rules so much that the league suspends you, at least be good.
Yes. At least be good. But then again, you'd end up digging that hole and you have to keep digging.
I guess.
Because you can't stop doing that, or else then you're afraid you're no longer going to be good. So you keep breaking the rules.
Good anyway.
Well, then stop breaking the rules and be mediocre.
Yeah, because you were mediocre while breaking the rules.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't know. Maybe the rules are just too hard for someone to understand. They are complex.
It is what executives have said, but they also said that it's mostly just minor things that people break, and some teams it's not minor and they know what they're doing. Maybe the Galaxy are one of them. That's what the league found anyway.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I wasn't in that room either.
Yeah, nor do I.
All right. Are we done? Are we ready for next week?
Hopefully.
Yeah. All right. We will try to get some thoughts and feelings on the MLS League Pass from Apple TV.
Season pass.
Season pass. Is that what it is? Season
I
pass?
believe so.
We discussed this. The name is horrible.
Yeah. It's not memorable. It really doesn't add anything.
Yeah, the Apple thing.
Yeah.
The Apple TV deal.
Yeah, it is season pass.
Season pass. Okay. So hopefully we'll get a chance to poke around with that app for a bit and see what's there and pay for it. Because you know we're gonna pay for it.
Yes.
We're not gonna be able to go to all the games. Anyway. All right. I think that's it. We're gonna wrap it up here and tune in next week. We'll hopefully have some Apple TV season pass, awful name streaming service details.
Yeah.
And more preseason coverage. Next week will be the last of our preseason ones, because that'll be
the week before season starts.
It'll be the week before the season starts. So
probably
a short show next week.
Probably.
There's probably not a whole lot.
Yeah, especially in this last week.
Probably not expecting a whole lot of super stuff unless there's injuries, which I hope there isn't for anybody who plays in the MLS. Injuries are bad.
Very
Don't wish them on anybody.
Nope.
But they are a part of the job.
Yeah, they do happen, unfortunately.
Yes. All right. I'll start the music then.
Okay.
See you next week. Thanks for watching and listening to the South Jersey Soccer Cast. If you're on YouTube, please leave some comments. Let us know how we're doing. Then like and subscribe to get notified when we upload next week's episode. What's that face for?
I'll tell you after.
Okay.